It's been 10 years. 10 years since quite a few people got mad about an ending to a game. 10 years since Nick Fury assembled a team of superheroes and some guy who can shoot a bow and arrow. And 10 years since I got jiggy with the blue alien. Well, no, actually that's about 3 days. 10 years since, well, you get the picture. That's right, time's gone quickly since you destroyed the Reapers, because destroy is only the right answer. But don't worry, this video isn't going to be about me imposing my ending will on you all. One thing I have learned since Mass Effect 3's release is that your Shepard story is a wonderful thing, and you shouldn't get angry about an ending, even if Control and Synthesis are the wrong choice. Welcome back, Commander. This week saw the 10-year anniversary of the release of Mass Effect 3, tying up the ending to a trilogy that started 5 years previous. For many fans, they had waited a long time to see the final act to this amazing game. How old were you? Can you remember feeling the hype? Let me know in the comments. Released on March 6, 2012, it sold 890,000 copies on launch day in North America. And by March 9th, 3.5 million sales worldwide. It was the fastest selling EA product at the time, and by financial year end, it would have exceeded $200 million. But it wasn't without issues. Originally scheduled for release in 2011, it had been delayed to March of 2012. From Ashes was a day one DLC that had been most important character in the game. Granted, it is not the main story and you could play the entirety of Mass Effect 3 without him, but being a living, breathing Prothean, a race that had died out 50,000 years prior to the events of the game, and to have him locked behind a paywall was a bit of a dick move. The ending was also rushed, and after a massive online uproar, the extended cut was released, and this tied up a few loose ends. Whether this was always the intention to or not, it's not very clear, but it's very rare for a game company to revisit the ending to a game once it's been shipped. They didn't completely cave in to fan demand, and no ending does Shepard actually walk away into the sunset with his favourite blue alien. The game itself was full of plot holes, and it didn't gel well with the rest of the series, leading to fans coming up with their own theory on how it connected. This would become known as the indoctrination theory, and carefully selected parts from all 3 games would go to prove that the Reapers had indoctrinated Shepard by the end of the game. It was very well thought out and even praised by the developers, but alas, it would become confirmed as just fan speculation and not formally adopted. After the negativity of Mass Effect 2's RPG mechanics, this had been really stripped back, and compared to Mass Effect, the developers hit with the levelling system just right in my opinion. Not as overbearing as in Mass Effect, with lots to choose from, but also not bare-bone basic like Mass Effect 2, just a nice fusion of the two. Other gameplay improvements included the ability to roll, better armour and weapon selection, and added an immersive story that brings together your choices from previous games, and returning crew who have also formed deep relationships with. I really enjoy Mass Effect 3. Yes, it does have its faults and the ending isn't quite what people wanted, but I've found if you pick your favourite ending and stick with it, then it tells a complete story. But what did you think? I ran a poll on my community page, and here's what you told me of some of your reasons. Rogue Rifter said the gameplay. There are a number of gameplay changes made to Mass Effect 2 that I disliked, and 3 corrected or partially corrected some of these. I agree with the changes, and I'm pleased that the sniper rifles were corrected for the Legendary Edition. I never understood why my soldier class would forget how to shoot a sniper rifle when I gave him biotic powers in Mass Effect 2. Akuzu said, "It's because James is in it. I didn't think I was going to like him at first because he was on the verge of disobeying orders, but when he left Earth I thought, okay, this is going to be his character the whole way. But then he smashed that shuttle into another shuttle and I cheered. Then later in the Citadel, he said basically it was just whatever it takes, and I changed my mind about him. He's funny, charming and brave, and good for morale, and it's a good character arc." James is voiced by the excellent Freddie Prinze Jr. and brought in for new players, a person they could relate to if they've never played the first 2 games. I mean, who starts with the 3rd game anyway? That's just crazy. Well, I suppose channel member Lady Grey only likes to play 2 and 3, but James wasn't the only character you wanted to see more of. Bonus wanted to see more of Jack, and for Kari it was Javi, and for Rocco it was Liara. It really is a true testament to BioWare for bringing us these wonderful characters who we fell in love with, and in this game to say our final goodbyes. But it didn't end with just the story. As Good Old Gamer points out, honestly, it's for the DLC. All the DLC is good, whether it's the missions or the weapons or the best in the series. Mick Eric also supports this. The Mass Effect 3 DLCs contain some of my absolute trilogy highlights. Matt B also says, "I'm going to say the DLC because I like the multiplayer and a lot of it is DLC. Citadel DLC is pretty damn good. The Citadel DLC has to be one of the best DLCs I've played, and if you want my advice, always start it just before you do your run on the Cerberus HQ. But you're not going to please everyone. Resident Multiplayer Companion, that Cerberus guy, wasn't impressed by the opening, with Dark Voice not happy, well, with any of it by the sound of it. Plot holes and inconsistencies aside, this from Perry sums it up perfectly. I've always loved Mass Effect 3, even more than 1 or 2. For me it was the journey, not the destination, that I loved, and from the moment the game starts it throws you in deep, and sure the ending was anticlimactic, but you honestly can't say it wasn't one hell of a ride. Well said. But before we go, we can't leave without mentioning GenShep's comment, simply the mods. Mass Effect 3 has some of the best mods that really expand the universe and giving you more Mass Effect to play with, and you should check out my video showcasing the most important ones you need to try. The video's on screen now. Big thank you to all of your comments, it's been great to read them all. Happy birthday Mass Effect 3, and thanks to Nerdy Dude, the supporters, and you for watching. And I'll see you next time. Commander.